Alright, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick's Having the Power. So I wanted to make a video about a supplement review that I was watching that I found rather alarming. So I was watching a supplement review and it was about a pre-workout. And this particular pre-workout had almost 500 milligrams of caffeine per scoop. You heard that correctly, 500 milligrams of caffeine per scoop. So I think putting that much caffeine in one scoop of pre-workout is wildly irresponsible. Now here's why I say that. The reason that I think this is irresponsible is because I myself, I don't take any pre-workouts with stimulants in them anymore whatsoever. I had some heart problems myself, which I think were caused by taking excessive amounts of stimulants through the form of pre-workouts. Now I was taking just an average pre-workout that had about 200 milligrams of caffeine per scoop. It might have even only been 175 milligrams of caffeine per scoop. And on occasion, the most I would use of that would be 1.5 to 2 scoops. So I wasn't even getting, I wasn't even getting 400 milligrams of caffeine. And that would be all the caffeine I would have in a day. So I really do believe that my progressive use of pre-workout over the past 10 years or so that I've been working out have really contributed to the fact that I had these heart palpitations and these heart problems that were otherwise unusual, unexplainable, and abnormal for someone my age. So it's not just me that suffers from things like this due to taking pre-workouts and taking stimulants. It's a known fact that stimulants can cause and increase the likelihood of you having a heart arrhythmia, which can kill you. So recently there was a kid in South Carolina named David Kripe that passed away from too much caffeine. So essentially what happened was he drank too much caffeine in too short of a time. And it caused him to have a fatal heart arrhythmia, and he died in class on the spot. This kid was only 16 years old. All he drank was a small latte from McDonald's, a Diet Mountain Dew, and an unnamed energy drink. So all three of those drinks together, I believe, only added up to about 400 milligrams of caffeine, and he drank those over the course of a 2-hour window. So in 2 hours, drinking 400 milligrams of caffeine was enough to cause this 16-year-old kid to have a fatal heart arrhythmia. So the really unsettling thing about this kid passing away was the fact that A, he had no underlying heart conditions, and B, he was completely healthy, a normal 16-year-old kid. So this was a completely random thing that was simply caused by too much caffeine, causing a random arrhythmia and causing him to die. So to give you guys some frame of reference, Jack 3D, which was considered to be one of the strongest pre-workout supplements on the market, only had 100 milligrams of caffeine per scoop. So this particular pre-workout that I'm talking about that I'm not going to name, it's got almost 5 times what Jack 3D had in it per scoop. And to give you guys some more frame of reference, 1 can of Monster energy drink only has 160 milligrams of caffeine. There's 2 servings in a can. Each serving is 60 milligrams of caffeine. So 1 serving of Monster is less than 1/5 of 1 serving of this pre-workout that I'm talking about. So the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that children between the age of 12 and 18 should not consume more than 100 milligrams of caffeine in an entire day in a 24-hour period. So imagine all the kids that are out there taking pre-workout that are in their teens. I was one of them. I'm sure a lot of you guys are in your teens. I'm sure a lot of you guys are taking pre-workout. If you're taking pre-workout, I highly recommend you're not taking a pre-workout content of 500 milligrams of caffeine. Like I said, I think that's wildly irresponsible. If the American Academy of Pediatrics is recommending 100 milligrams in 24 hours and you're taking 5 times that in less than an hour, you're just playing with fire, in my opinion. For a fully grown adult, 400 milligrams in a 24-hour period is pretty much the suggested maximum amount of caffeine that you can drink in a day, and that's about 4 cups of coffee. So that equates to about 6 cups of coffee for this particular pre-workout that has 500 milligrams of caffeine in it. So 6 cups of coffee, and I'm imagining a lot of these people probably still drink coffee in the morning. The pre-workout is just an extra thing. I'm sure most people that are drinking pre-workout don't actually only take in the caffeine that they're getting in from the pre-workout. I'm sure most people out there still drink coffee, and their pre-workout is a completely separate thing from their morning coffee. I mean, a lot of people, I'm sure, take their coffee in the morning, go to work, and then after work go work out and take their pre-workout before they go work out. So a lot of people are getting way more than just the caffeine content that they're getting out of their pre-workout. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of this, man. I'm not going to ever advocate something that I think is dangerous, and I think taking that amount of caffeine in a pre-workout is just simply Russian roulette. It's playing with fire. Like I said, that kid that died at the age of 16 had no underlying heart conditions that caused that arrhythmia. It was simply just too much caffeine for his body at that age. Like I said, I know a lot of you guys are teenagers. I know a lot of you guys are taking pre-workout. So I just want you guys to be aware. Read that label. See how much caffeine is in that product. See what other stuff is in that product. And be careful what you take, guys. I know there tends to be this craze of We're the strongest pre-workout on the market. We've got all these crazy ingredients. We got this crazy amount of caffeine. You're gonna go crazy in the gym with our pre-workout. We have more of this ingredient than anybody else's pre-workout. Whatever the case may be, it's not necessarily a good thing. Anything in excess is typically a bad thing, and caffeine, especially in excess, you're looking for trouble. So just be careful, guys. Read that label with what you buy, especially if you're a teenager, man. Just keep in mind in the back of your head that the recommended dosage for anyone between 12 and 18 is only 100 milligrams. So if you're reading that label and you're seeing 3, 4, 500 milligrams of caffeine per serving, make sure you're very, very careful about how you take that product, and make sure you definitely do not exceed 1 scoop of a product like that. So thank you guys for watching the video. I know it was a little bit of a different kind of video for me, but I really want to help you guys out. I don't want any of you guys dying from taking some crazy pre-workout or taking some stupid thing that you don't need. So I want to make sure I give you guys some advice whenever I get the chance. Me looking back, I wish I hadn't abused pre-workout the way that I had in the past. I mean, there were days back when I first started working out where I was taking 3 scoops of Jack 3D when it specifically says on the label, don't take more than 1 scoop. And I think a lot of that shit that I did when I was younger definitely contributed to some of the heart problems that I had today. So thank you guys for watching the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.